Okay, so I've been hearing this and I've heard it a couple places, and so I figured I'd go do a little research on it. So far, the only thing I found is an article out of Ohio, but I'm going to let the TTS read you this article, and I'll continue to do some more research on this. People are freaking out on it, though, and I don't blame them, because I don't like the invasive nature of our government in the first place. I think we lack a lot of privacy, and this would just be one more step to break Big Brother in a 1984-esque lifestyle for everyone.
Proposed IRS reporting of bank account information upsets Ohio's community banks and Republican legislators. Washington, D.C. A measure that would require financial institutions to report transactions to the Internal Revenue Service on any bank account with a balance of more than $600 has upset Ohio's community bankers and Republican legislators, who are trying to get the provision removed from budget legislation that's being written in Congress. Says the proposal that's drawing objections and others that would require that more information be sent to the IRS will reduce tax evasion and improve collection of taxes that are already due, generating an estimated $460 billion in tax revenue over 10 years. It's being suggested as a revenue offset for the $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill that the Biden administration and Democrats who control Congress are drafting to spend more money on programs that they say would improve health care, education, infrastructure, and counter climate change, among other things. The Treasury Department says the extra data is being sought to target high earners who underreport their tax liabilities. It is not about using new financial account information reports to increase enforcement scrutiny on lower-income taxpayers, said a statement from Natasha Sarin, Deputy Assistant Secretary for Economic Policy at the Treasury Department. The administration has been clear that audit rates will not rise relative to recent years for those with under $400,000 in actual income. Instead, these proposals are about targeting enforcement actions where they belong, on higher earners who do not fully report their tax liabilities.
Believe that bag of hogwash if you want to.
Community Bankers Association of Ohio CEO Bob Palmer argues the proposal constitutes a strong invasion of privacy and expressed doubt the data will help IRS catch wealthy tax evaders. He argues that people who have $600 in the bank typically are not wealthy individuals, and says his organization and its counterparts on the federal level are pushing back at the administration and saying this makes no sense to us. Palmer said the proposal would create tremendous cost and inconvenience for banks, which are already required to report suspicious transactions to the IRS. His organization is asking its members and its customers to raise objections to the plan. Ohio Chamber of Commerce President and CEO Steve Stivers said the proposal might help the IRS catch some tax cheats who operate in the cash economy, but it could create liability for banks, undermine confidence customers have in financial institutions, and increase the number of people who don't use banks.
Yeah, because if me, I would take my money out of the bank immediately.
If you are a consumer and they have the banks mine your personal financial transaction data and send it to the government, that is certainly something a lot of Americans should be concerned about, said Stivers, a former Republican congressman from Columbus. An advocate of the plan, Urban Brookings Tax Policy Center co-director William G. Gale disputed that the proposal would risk taxpayer privacy. He says banks already have the information the IRS would seek, and providing it would reduce the likelihood of the IRS auditing honest taxpayers. President Biden has proposed transformational policies that could substantially reduce tax cheating and thus make the tax system fairer for the large majority of taxpayers who are honest. Republicans and some Democrats have recently expressed concerns about higher budget deficits. Cracking down on evasion would be an ideal way to raise revenue without boosting official marginal tax rates. U.S. Sen. Sherrod Brown, an Ohio Democrat who chairs the Senate Committee on Banking, Housing and Urban Affairs, supports increasing IRS reporting requirements, his office said. Brown believes it will better equip the IRS to distinguish between honest taxpayers and wealthy tax cheats it needs to audit. Ohioans, including Bob Gibbs of Holmes County, Jim Jordan of Champaign County, Anthony Gonzalez of Rocky River, Warren Davidson of Miami County, Brad Wenstrup of Cincinnati, Bob Latta of Bowling Green, and Troy Balderson of Zanesville, signed onto a letter from more than 100 Republican House of Representatives members objecting to the plan. It argued the privacy concerns raised by the proposal would further exacerbate the banked, unbanked, underbanked divides by discouraging people to use banks.
Yep, you're right.
Financial institutions currently report a tremendous amount of data to the IRS, and no evidence has shown that the proposed requirements would substantially aid the IRS's efforts to close the tax gap beyond the information already at the IRS's disposal, said the letter, addressed to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Richard Neal, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen, and IRS Commissioner Charles Redding. Not only would such an overly comprehensive IRS database require significant resources to build, maintain, and protect, but it would make the personal, financial data of millions of Americans vulnerable to attack. Considering the IRS experiences 1.4 billion cyber attacks annually and has experienced multiple data breaches, we should not give this agency additional sensitive data to manage. A statement from Gibbs called the proposal the type of Big Brother-style intrusion into private information we should all be worried about. Americans should not have to worry about the IRS looking over their shoulder whenever they loan money to family members or purchase Christmas presents for their children, said Gibbs. There is simply no need for the IRS to be collecting this information, and I urge the IRS to abandon their mass surveillance plans. NASA Glenn Research Center to assist new airplane fuel efficiency.
Anyway, I totally agree with that. It is invasive. It is 1984 Orwellian kind of garbage, and I do not stand with this proposal at all. And there are a lot of people out there that do not either, and it's starting to pop up in things like TikTok. I got a video today of a guy who was talking about getting your money out of the bank immediately because of this proposal. So I figured I'd do a little research because I'd heard something about it a couple days ago, and I don't know, it's in this new bill, this $3 trillion bill. The whole bill needs to be totally scrapped. There's nothing in that bill that I have seen that is worth anything. I'm going to see if I can find a PDF of that bill, if I can get my dogs to be quiet during videos, and perhaps make a video of that bill as well. But it's probably as big as that one that they had to haul in on a trolley cart last year. So it probably would not be just one video. Anyway, how do you feel about the IRS invading your bank account if you have more than $600 in there? Personally, it makes me want to withdraw my money from the bank. I'd rather keep my money in my mattress, like my grandmama did. Haha. Alright. Like, subscribe, and share. And I'm sorry I haven't been putting out a lot of videos lately, but I think I'm going to get back to doing that. But I'm in the process of moving a lot of my stuff over to my new channel. And that is going to be a lot of my poetry, some older videos that I want to save. And the dogs are giving me a hard time. Come on, guys, stop. And it's going to be on Rumble. And it's Patriot Poet 1776 on Rumble. So come find me there. I will be able to post more videos over there. I was getting strikes left and right on here. So I didn't want to lose the channel, and I didn't want to lose all the content that I had on the channel. So I slowed down with my videos because I was warned, you know, one more strike and your channel will be shut down permanently. I was like, oh geez. Alright, anyway, come over to Rumble, find me, Patriot Poet 1776. Alright, y'all. Share, share, share.